is right there. Hey, good afternoon. There's Rye and I'm going to be driving though, so I'm going to be just chatting. So we're getting ready to leave Grand Junction, and it's December 11th, and I need to post something today, and I've got videos I'm working on, but I just thought I'd do this on the way home and try it. And then trying to tell you a little bit about this area. So I live in the western part of Colorado. That mountain in front of us, that big chalky-looking, dry-looking mountain, that's Mount Garfield. It was named by President Garfield. It was unnamed when he flew into Grand Junction. Don't know what year it is. All those years ago, when he was president. And there's a flag at the top. There's actually a really cool hiking trail to the top. So I'm actually going to take the scenic way. I won't be getting on the interstate quite yet. If you're listening to the live, if you come on, please introduce yourself. I'll say that a few times in the comments, in the chat. Say where you're from. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive. It's going to take me about 20 minutes to get to the base of the canyon where I head home. And when I get there, I'm going to pull over and I'll scroll back through the comments. And then go this way. And then answer if you have anything you want to ask. But basically, this is just going to be kind of a... this is new. There's a red light here now. I hate all these changes in traffic rolls here. But anyways, yeah, so at the end, I'll pull over at the bottom of the canyon. There's a big pull out, and I'll read if there's any questions. So I'm leaving Eastern Grand Junction, 32 road area. It's kind of a separate little town called Clifton. Forgive all the roundabouts. We have roundabout after roundabout after roundabout in Grand Junction anymore. But there's Clifton Liquor. We passed the fire department on the left while I was looking at Clifton Liquor. There's Rye. So again, actually what I'm going to do is, well, I can't do that driving. I'll try to watch for you to come on, but basically I'm just driving home and showing you the route. So, let's see. We'll stay on. So I'm headed east out of Clifton, Colorado, okay, and I's got her window down. She's loving it. It got warm today. It's actually 50 degrees down here. That's very warm for December. Beautiful blue sky. Anyways, I'm leaving Clifton. I'm not quite to the next town, but that's Palisade. Palisade is world renowned for Palisade peaches. They look like giant softballs. The actual Palisade peach. There's a few different varieties now, but her window up just a little bit. So there is a few varieties now, but if you're just joining the live, I'm just doing a drive home from Grand Junction, Colorado, and I'm driving right now. In about 15 minutes or so, I'll pull over and read some comments and stuff, but I'm sort of just showing part of Palisade now because I've left Grand Junction. Rai says hi. Thank you for joining my live. And again, if you're listening to this for the first time, and I'll keep saying this because I can't stop to post my own chat message, but please leave a comment from where you're from, and if you have a question for me regarding the western side of Colorado. It's a beautiful December day, December 11th. I am doing Vlogmas, so I got to post something today. So this is going to be it for today. I'm working on some videos, but I just found out that when I get home I have to leave again, so I won't be able to work on the video I was going to post, so that'll have to be for tomorrow. So anyways, but now we're in Palisade, so we've crossed 33 Road going east. So I live up on top of the Grand Mesa, which is the mountains in front of us. I don't live at the very top because the top is 10,000 feet, but I live at high altitude, 8. I kind of live over that side of it more. This is the I-70 corridor here. We're passing Mount Garfield, which was named by President Garfield when he came to town, to Grand Junction, many, many, many years ago. That was not named. He named it Mount Garfield. There is a flag up top, and there's a really cool hiking trail up to the top. So, kind of cool. And Palisade's known primarily for the Palisade peaches, but also for wineries now. It's a huge winery area. Our house is for sale, and this is one of the areas we're considering to move to. And there is like houses that are in tracts, but the majority is Palisade, and that's kind of right up our alley. So, anyways, yeah, it's a beautiful winter day, almost winter. I think the 21st is the solstice. So I just thought this would be kind of fun. I follow a couple guys. I follow some storm trackers, chasers, whatever, and a couple trucker guys. Especially early in the morning, I get on and see what they're up to. And all they do is point the camera out at the road. Some of them, they don't talk. Their moderators do the talking and interacting with the people. But, I mean, I'm okay with talking, so that's not a problem. Anyways, we are in Palisade proper now. Again, this is just a drive home video, so if I'm repeating myself for the ones that are on, it's just because if I see new people, I want to just let you know that I'm driving. I'm not reading comments yet, but at, let's say it's 1:10 now, so let's say at 1:20, I'll pull over and see what the comments are, if there is any, or questions. But put in the chat where you're from, and then as I read back through, I might have questions for you. So, okay, so we are in Palisade. We are in the city limits right as soon as we pass this G Road sign here. So this is Palisade. I'm going to cruise into the little town. So I live in a very tiny town of 700 people in western Colorado, and this town is bigger than that. Of course, there's the high school after Winery, because what's happening is a lot of the peach trees, as they age, they're being replaced, well, with grapes. Although this winery right here is fruit wine. So the Meadery of the Rockies, they do the honey and they do the peach. It's one of my favorites. I don't like sweet wine. My husband does though, but I'm not big on it. So we're getting to one of the major intersections. We're getting a roundabout right there, right by the pharmacy and the bank. That happens to be my bank. They're also in my town. So And then Palisade Pharmacy, there's a Dollar General. There's a really cool park down here that I'll drive through. If you're joining me, I keep saying this, but if you're joining me now, I'm doing a drive, and I left Grand Junction about 10 minutes ago now, 11 minutes ago. It's 1:11, and I started this right at 1. But I basically just doing a drive, and I'm talking for now, but I'm going to pull over in about 10 more minutes, about 1:20, 1:25, and I'll see if there's any comments or questions to answer. So this is one of the tracks of home here, but and I'm not going to pull in here because my dog knows this place, but we're passing the River Bend Park, where we stop and play BALL a lot. So she's probably going to go nuts. They smell where they're at. So this is the entrance into the park, and I've shot many videos there. You can go back and get my videos. So what we are going to do is, let's go up this way. Take the longest route around. There's the Palisade Park. The Colorado River is right there along it. That's why it's called River Bend Park. It's the park at the bend of the Colorado River in Palisade. So this area of Palisade is mostly rentals, townhomes. A lot of these buildings, you can see our apartments, or townhomes. So right around the corner here, I'll start the story now because they're starting to rebuild the building. But 2 years ago, I think about this time 2 years ago, a building blew up. One of the apartment buildings, kind of about the size of that light blue one we just passed. I'm going to turn this because they're starting to rebuild it finally. You can see the roof of a new one right there over this building. We're passing it right where these trucks are on the road. I'll turn the camera. So what happened 2 years ago? It blew up. The reason it blew up was a 4-unit apartment. I'm going to move this. This is the new building going up. It was up and down tenants and 4 units, and the tenant in the bottom had a dog, and the tenant at the top complained about the dog pooping by its door, stairs, or something. That's what started it. Anyways, don't run in front of me, little kitty cat. The guy that owned the dog turned on his natural gas and had an accelerant. I don't remember the whole story now. I need to reread it. Basically, had an accelerant, locked his door, and left with his dog. And to make a long story short, everybody had gone to work that day except this gal who worked from home. That's a big thing now. The building blew up. She was killed. He proceeds to go up to Leadville, which is like almost 4 hours to the east of here, kind of near South Park, right now, South Park, the TV thing. Anyways, he goes up there, and to make it even worse, he kills himself and his dog. So, why go to all that? It's just sad. And a good friend of mine's daughter went to school with this gal here at Palisade and was her best friend. They were out of high school. They've been out of high school a few years by then. So Palisade just built this new primary care and acute care clinic. And I'm going to cross over. This is Highway 6. So years and years ago, Highway 6 went through Grand Junction before Interstate 70 got built. It goes right through downtown Grand Junction. And it's now 2 one-way streets, and it's the business district. But anyway, so Again, if you're just joining me, I'm just driving through now the town of Palisade on my way home, and I'm just sort of doing a drive-by. There's a Mexican restaurant here. It's good, El Rey. I've eaten there. Cool place there with a bunch of license plates. Looks like it belongs on Route 66. A lot of old homes. This town was one of the first ones settled back in the day, and so a lot of the homes reflect that. Our veterinarian, we do have a vet in Colburn, and I do go to him. He's more of a big animal vet, so the dog's vet is right here, Palisade Pet Care, that gray building. So we come down here for them. Like I said, the vet up there will work on dogs. He actually was married, and him and his wife were both vets, but they divorced. She was the small animal, and he was the large. So he still does stuff like Rye's brother Lobo has to have allergy shots, and he does those. Actually, his assistants do the shots. So this is the post office here in Palisade. And I'll change the description of this because it's ended up going to be a live and drive in Palisade, Colorado. So this is this street, it's square. That's the grocery store we're coming up on. We're passing the post office on the right. Bistros, breweries, pubs are huge here. Library. That's a good cafe. It's more of a breakfast, lunch. I don't think they're even open. Fidel's. More of a sandwich. Bakery. A lot of food. A lot of mountain bike stuff because there's a trail that goes up there called the Palisade Plunge. What I'll do, I'll go ahead and cruise through the Rapid Creek Cycles. You can rent mountain bikes there. The Bar and Grill, we like 357 Bar and Grill. We go there a lot. The Livery Saloon. There's my truck. I want a Tremor. A Ford Super Duty with the Tremor package. But and then the pub we just passed is a fun place to go. A lot of live music. Back in the day, we were in a band and played there. So this is the little food town market. It's a nice little market for an independent little store. I stop there a lot on my way home because I'm right now an hour away from home. So again, if you're just joining my live, I'm just doing a drive live, just showing some of the town of Palisade that I'm in right now. It's a real cute town on Colorado's western slope. This is the Distillery. This place is fun. They have a really cool gift shop. I wish I could go in some of this, but I'm not going to do that today. Maybe that would be a good place to go to and show you the Distillery. And then another winery. Like I said, this used to be, a lot of these were packing sheds for the orchards, and now they're wineries. Wineries have gotten huge here. That street doesn't go through, so actually this one doesn't either. So okay, I'll just go back the way I came because then I can get back around the square. So yeah, I'll have to do a video at Peach Street Distillery because that's a good place. They have a really good vodka. We have another distillery out here, too. We have a trolley, Palisade trolley, across the way in that orange building. I'm not going to drive down that street. I'm going to go back down this way. But you can get in horse-drawn trolleys. Palisade is really big on having, there's a peach festival, jazz festival. There's the wine festival. That's always right around our anniversary. Yeah, they do a lot, and that trolley's always going. It's got draft horses that pull it. You can rent mountain bikes here, and this is a fun town to mountain bike around, or just any bike, bring your own. I've ridden my e-bike around here with my friend. So we're basically on the west side of the square. Going back down here, we've already been down the street, and I turned that way. Now I'm going to turn this way. And then I'll probably turn around and go back that way and go out that way because that heads back to the interstate. Or I could go this way too. I might just do that. So there's the Blue Pig Art Gallery right there. That's a fun place. Again, another bar. There's like 4 churches in Palisade. I'll have to look up and I'll put in this, uh, or make a comment in the description how many people live here. So I wanted to point out a couple things. So like I said, these are all, most of the houses are 150. Some of them are even older. This house here, right here, this gray one, my husband did a bunch of work. It's 3 stories, full 3 stories. It actually has a basement too, but I wouldn't call it a walkout basement or anything. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, this is a little park here, but it's where we vote. We have to come down here to vote if we're going to vote in person. My town doesn't have its own precinct. We do a lot of stuff in Palisade. There's a Ace Hardware, there's a car wash, another school down that way, an elementary school. But anyways, back to that house. It was gutted, and it sold for $1 million. Actually, $1.1 million a couple years ago. My husband did some work on the wood floors. It had water damage, and it was still all original. The house had sat for years, but this very rich couple bought it. I can't remember what state they were from. It wasn't California. Not even Texas. Stop, right? Anyways, they bought it, and so we're going over the Colorado River. There's that way towards the park, and that way towards the interstate up there. There's a truck up there. I don't know, a semi. Actually, since this is moving right along, I was going to go down through this way and just meander around, but we'll just continue on to the interstate. But that house is gorgeous now. We got to go through it. My husband did the work on it, and then we got to see it finished. So the contractor was in charge of it and passed away. See these 2 vintage trailers? They're for sale. I have stopped in there 5 times, and nobody ever is home. So if I ever see a car there other than the one that's there now, I'll know somebody's there. I'm actually curious about them, so I know people looking. But again, these are old peach orchards. Mostly peaches. There's some apple, cherries, and things like that, pears, but the majority of the orchards out here are peach orchards. So, and then we still got a lot of fruit stands. It's where I come to go to the farmers. Strawberry gardens, the grasshoppers kept arriving in July and eating everything, so I gave up a couple years ago. I don't garden anymore. I come down to the farmers markets on Sunday here, or hit any of these fruit stands throughout the week. And my favorite, which I'm going to pull over for just a second because I've got cars coming up real fast on me. Another fun place is this place right here. It's right here. It's Clark's Distillery, and they also make moonshine. They have a really good peach moonshine. Clark and Company right there, and a great. You can sit and look at the river outside. That's one of my favorite places to take people in this whole town. Go there a lot. And then this, of course, is one of the fruit packing sheds. Of course, they're closed right now. This is December in Colorado. So if you're just joining my live, I'm doing a live and drive, driving through Palisade, Colorado. It's a very quaint old town. And for a minute here, I'm going to pull over. So the mountain right there is Mount Garfield. I'm going to look this stuff up and put some of the stuff in the description when I get home. That was named by President Garfield. This is the Book Cliff Range. Goes all the way to the Utah border. Basically right here, this has to exit 42, which was 42 miles from the Utah border. We'll come out on exit 44, and then my exit is exit 49. I'm not that far from Palisade as the crow flies, except I'm up. I'm not even these. These are the Palisade hills. I'm behind this on top of the Grand Mesa, so it takes me an hour to get pretty much to Palisade. That's the interstate out there. You can see trucks going along. The interstate. But this is the Book Cliff Range, and it runs all the way into the Beck, which is another 20 miles up the interstate from where I turn up. So over there is Base Camp RV Park. That's a really cool, fairly new one. Right next to it used to be the Happy Camper Distillery. Dispensary. That distillery is not the brain. The Happy Camper Dispensary. But they recently moved down by exit 42 by the Golden Gate, built a real nice building there. But actually, that where Colteris Winery is, they've got a smaller building in there that they were in that area there, right next to Base Camp RV. That's across the Colorado River, so we actually get to it from a different road than what I'm on. This is a wedding venue here, believe it or not, and the river is right down below, so it's gorgeous. It doesn't look like much from the side, but that's a whole banquet hall, and you can see one of the event trailers down there. So Palisade is a really cool town. Hi, if you're just joining me, I am doing a live and drive through Palisade, Colorado, the western slope of Colorado, to the east of Grand Junction. And it's a beautiful day, as you can see. And I just thought this would be my Vlogmas video for today, December 11th. I'm getting ready to get on the interstate, and when I get off, I'll stop and see if there's any questions to answer. And if you could, just comment and tell me where you're from. If I don't see any questions, I'll just get on and stop for a minute and acknowledge you all. Got the car coming. So, right, you want to put your head out the window? This is one of the good fruit stands here. I love this town. Kind of gets a lot of traffic because it's very popular because of the wineries, the distilleries, the dispensaries, the music, the pubs and breweries, and all of that. It's a very popular little town. It's a fun town, though. You would never be bored living here. And you can be in downtown Grand Junction in 20 minutes, probably 15 minutes before, but it's not that far. But if you think about it, this is exit 40, say 44, because they're almost there. And Grand Junction starts at exit 19, so 19 miles from the Utah border, from the west, and then ends at 32. Clifton is actually 32. Grand Junction ends at 29 Road. So then exit 32 is Clifton, and then Palisade is between exits. Actually start at exit, or there is no exit, but 33 Road all the way to 44 Road. So this is Highway 6 that I'm on. That mountain bike trail that I was talking about takes off where all these trucks are parked here on the right, and it goes all the way up to the top of the Grand Mesa, and then it's called the Palisade Plunge. This is the Colorado River. Kind of low. We haven't had a little winter. And we just coming out of, irrigation time. Everybody's been drawing water off the poor Colorado. So it is not the mighty Colorado right now. But after winter, it will be again. I've shot videos here before last year when I first started my YouTube channel. And that's a fun place. It's like a little beach area. You can get right in the water. Put my kayak in the water there. I need to do more kayaking videos, so if you're joining me on my live, I'm just doing a live and drive through the town of Palisade. You can go back and watch it. I'm getting ready to get on the interstate. Shut her window. And then when I get to the bottom of my canyon, I'm actually going to pull over and see if there's any questions. If not, then that'll be my video. I only wanted to do about a half an hour, and it's 1:30 right now, and I started this at 1 and just started driving as I was leaving Grand Junction. Actually, I was leaving Clifton, the east side of Grand Junction. So they're all separate towns. Coming from Utah, you got Mac, and Mac is famous for the country jam that we have every June. Here it's a 4-day music festival. Then between the next one is Mac is about exit 9 or 8, And then there's Loma, which is exit 11, I think. Well, and they kind of go over, and they're not like there's 11 exits. They're like the first one in, there's Rapid Valley, and then there's Mac, and then there's Loma, and then there's Fruta, which is the first big town. It's bigger than Palisade. And it's at exit 19, 60. It's at exit 60. And then I think, yeah, because Grand Junction starts at 19, and they're a couple miles apart now. They're growing together. This is open, but I'm not going to stop. But down there is a really good farmer's market, and now they're open for the holidays, Thursdays. So today's Thursday. But my friend and I want to go. We're coming to town on Sunday to ride downtown Grand Junction, horse-drawn carriage. I'm going to film that, and then we'll stop there on the way back home. So that'd be fun. So I'll save that. We've got a really state-of-the-art shooting range over there. It's got archery, it's got handgun, rifle. They're all their different sections. Muzzle loader, and then it's got long-range shooting. It's really cool. Part of our Colorado Parks and Wildlife dollars went towards putting that in. It's been open about 2 years. So this is a really cool, this James Robb State Park that's coming up. I won't pull in there because it's on the other side of the interstate, but you can camp there May through September. After that, it's day use only. There's a couple lakes there, and the Colorado River flows through it, so I've camped there. I'm going to have an event probably in the spring with Sisters on the Fly, and we'll be camping there. It's a hot springs. It's actually 4 states. We're going to start in Colorado and do a hot springs, and then we're going to go to Utah and do a hot springs, and then Idaho and do a hot springs, and end up near Jackpot, Nevada. And I know of a hot springs there that actually is I'm going to pull off here instead of on the next exit's mine, but the reason is I'm going to get some gas, but I'll do that after I end this. But I know of a hot springs in Nevada that's primitive, to say the least. It's clothing optional. And I don't know if the ladies in Sisters on the Fly will like that one or not. I do know some of them will, because I know the ones that will like that kind of stuff. But anyways, there's also another one a little further down. So I'm going to pull in here. This is an overnight spot. If you're, if you're a nomad or whatever, you're looking for a place to pull in and park for the night, this is a good spot. So this is Cameo exit. Off of I-70, you're just east of Palisade, and what's this, exit 45? I should know this. I get off here all the time and get fuel. I'm just going to park here for a second. And anyways, you can park right here. I mean, I literally know. I know a guy that's working out of his homemade little tiny house on wheels. Well, they're all on wheels, I guess. Tiny houses. Well, not necessarily, but But he built his own. And it's like the size of like probably a 16-foot camp trailer. He parks there every night. So he leaves, takes it with him. He does not leave it. Wherever he goes, he must be working, and then he parks there. I've talked to him before. And then he pulls in here for the night. And if it's his day off, he'll be here a couple days. I think he must work a Monday through Friday job. Eventually, he'll disappear for the winter, though. He hasn't left yet. So there's that. So, okay, I do see somebody on. Hi, I've been doing a live and drive, and I just drove through the town of Palisade. So in the comments, please write where you're from. And what I'm going to do is grab my iPad and log in. It's actually on, so it won't take me long. And if there's any questions you want to ask, I live in Western Colorado. I'm doing Vlogmas, so I'm just coming up with ideas of things to do, and I thought I'd do a kind of a drive-by live. I don't know what you call it. Anyways,